All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Ghost in the Valley podcast. I'm your host, Al Cooley, and tonight I have a fantastic guest. She's been on before. Her name is Cyn Shrader Hill. She's helped me out well, numerous times. She's signed a couple of books that I bought off of her at a Paracon. She's an author. She's a paranormal investigator. She's a founder of Valley Paranormal. And like I said, I met her at the GobbleCon in Kentucky, like almost I think last year, and she's a great speaker. I watched her at the Paracon. She was one of the guest speakers, and if you need a speaker, man, at your next event, she will not let you down. Cyn Shrader Hill is fantastic. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring her on right now.
Now, how much do I owe you for saying all that wonderful stuff?
Oh, you're fantastic, man. Even the other authors give you nothing but praise. I mean, Eric Freeman Sims and Mark Elliott Fultz and so many people I met at the Paracon. Your name was brought up quite a few times, and
Oh,
that says a lot, and I really love that Paracon because I had so many people on my show. I knew a couple of you were going to be there. I didn't know a couple others were going to be there. So it's so cool how that inner circle, your friends are friends of somebody else, and they lead you to somebody else, and it's so much fun doing these Paracons. And uh, what do you think? I mean, you love going to
oh,
do.
oh goodness, yes. But I tell you what, meeting you was a high point.
Oh, vice versa. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
That was amazing, and to see you sitting in the audience as I was getting ready to speak, I had to call you out. I had to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, she's not calling me out, is she?
I did. There's
Yeah,
Mr. Al Cooley
yeah,
in the house, Ghost in the Valley podcast. Yay!
yeah. That was so much fun, And Eric put on a great show there,
hmm
Yeah,
hmm
and I see your guest speaker again this year. That's cool.
I'm so excited. It was a last minute thing. They had somebody drop out, which um, sorry for them, but glad for me because Eric asked me to speak, and I was like, oh yay!
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's always cool.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's this weekend. I mean, it's coming up. It's almost
Oh, it's
here.
this weekend.
Sure
Yeah,
is.
I'm not gonna make it this week. My band's been
Oh,
so busy this year. Almost every weekend we've got a gig, and I says, next year this is gonna have to stop on my Paracon weekends,
yeah,
and my book signing and stuff. So I that's gonna be cool too. So, uh, do you like doing book signings?
I do.
Yeah.
I really do. I it, it I'm flattered that people come out, because I still can't. Somebody came up to me last year at Goblin Con, and it was one of the Hopkinsville ladies that was putting on the show. She was the one running around in a little alien outfit. You probably saw her.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
She she came up afterwards and put something down in front of me and said, "I need your autograph." Well, I thought she was pulling my leg, and I said, "Who put you up to that?" And she said, "No, really." And I said, "Stop it," because I
Mhm.
just I just and she was serious.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've had someone ask me for my autograph, and I couldn't. I didn't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
I couldn't. It, I still don't think of myself as that.
Well, you are.
I,
I mean, you got what, 9 books out? I mean,
yes,
10? I
yes,
must
and
have I think somewhere you had 10. I must have missed one. But we're gonna
no,
we
he
uh,
miscounted. I'm working on 10, 11, and editing another one of Mark's
Ooh,
right now.
wow.
I
You know,
know.
yeah, yeah, and we're gonna that also, because you have that new one that came out that's like it was a double back to back. I'm like 1 and 2, and I was like, wow, this girl is busy. I mean,
Well, I tell you, this has been actually my therapy. this year. Um, Mark gave me 60 newspaper articles and said, "I'm not going to do this. It's about headless ghosts. And would you like it?" And I said, "Yeah, I sure would." And so, unfortunately for me, I have now developed a habit on newspapers.com. I am stuck on that thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
oh my, I talk about, how you can go down black holes watching videos and stuff like that. You can do it on newspapers.com too.
Mm.
And I'm a big fan of theirs. So the 60 articles that he gave me on Headless Ghost turned into 600 to 700 of
Wow.
all kinds of stories. And so he had named, he said, "I want the book." I had wanted the book, and you can use this if you want to or not. The Unquiet Dead. And I said,
That's a great title.
"I love it." And I
Yeah.
said, "How about it be a series title?" And he said, "Okay." And I said, "I'm going to have The Unquiet Dead, Headless Ghosts, and Colorful Spirits."
Hmm.
And he said, "Okay." And I said, "And then I'm going to have Monsters and Mayhem." And he said, "Okay." And I said, "And then I'm going to have." So there's 10 uh, of the different categories. I couldn't get it all out uh, in this series. So there's Monsters and Mayhem, which is going to be vampires, witches, werewolves, banshees. And then there is Christmas spirits. So all of the Christmas tales that were
Oh
told,
yeah.
Victorian, and all these. I think the latest newspaper clipping I've used so far is 1957. So it's a lot of 1800s.
Hmm.
And it's amazing what all they would put in the
Yeah.
papers.
What did are these like folklores? Passed down through, or they
It's it's
actual?
some of it folklore.
Okay.
Well, a lot of it folklore. Some
Hmm.
of it stories that were
Oh,
told,
okay. Yeah. Hmm.
handed down as to scare them, and then others are true things that have happened to
Hmm.
people. And it was just amazing. First of all, how many headless ghosts there are. That's why there's part one and part two. That book was going to be 600 and something pages. And,
Well, I've seen both of them are over 300 pages. I was looking at it today on I think it was Amazon.
but
I was like,
the bigger books are hard to, keep
yeah,
open. And that,
yeah.
so I thought, it's going to be a part one and part two.
Mm.
And I put the colorful spirits in there to kind of break up all the headlessness. And so there's the green ladies, the lady in white, black, gray, red. There's a green page. There's a yellow boy. There's all of these colorful things. So they're mixed in with all of the different headless things. And we got headless cowboys, we got headless knights, we got headless queens, Anne Boleyn, of course.
Hmm.
Other than the headless horseman that everybody knows, and I think a lot of people here in the States know the railroad track person that got run over by a train and is
Hmm.
walking the tracks looking for his head. And that seems to be in just about every county
Yeah.
in the United States,
Yeah.
and just like Crybaby Bridge
Hmm.
and things like that. So
We have one
it's,
in our own town. I did an episode on right here in my own little village.
yeah, they're everywhere. And, you know, very similar, told very similar,
Hmm.
but there's always a local twist to it, some kind of little local thing thrown in.
You're right, right, right. And it's probably hard for you, because how many stories that you had to pick from. You know, you could probably went all like 1,000 pages on all
Oh,
the stories. I mean, I get stories all the time, told to me, but a lot of times they don't want to come on the show to share it. So it's
I
like,
know.
man, could you really use that one? Like, you want to come on? No, I can't do that. And I still think it's a lot. It's still from people's jobs or, you know, peer pressure. I don't know what it is. I said, believe me, I've been called crazy my whole life, so it don't affect me none. Yeah,
Me too.
yeah. I
That's
think I hear that from every guest. Uh, matter of fact, that my band played a gig this past weekend, and it was at the Eagles Club in uh, Lisbon, Ohio, and first time I've ever been there. And I'm looking fantastic old building, and and I heard the one gentleman running the club asked the manager, "Can you go downstairs and bring up some more of the paper plates or something?" And she said, "I'm not going down there." So he's, "Well, I'm not going down there either." So I found out later that the basement is extremely haunted. So I'm going to be able to go back there again.
are you
And it just turns out that way. That's how you run into certain things. And I said, not only is the basement haunted, but the attic is also. So they only do the 2 floors. And there's 3 grown adults there that will not go down in that basement. So I'm like, oh, so how now I want to go down there, and
oh, I want to be with you. I want to go
but
with.
we run out of time, and we had
Oh,
ways to drive back home. I'm like, I'm getting not a young pup anymore, so I said, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to call them and see if I can work something out to go. I don't investigate anymore, but I do go into just to check things out,
yeah.
and I have a couple of wireless equipment, and I do like that. I can sense something. I can sense if the place is haunted, or
Hmm.
spirit. Just most of the time. But
Right.
I do want to do that because it's really weird how you come up with people all the time. Doesn't don't matter where you're at, what little town you're in, whether it be Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, wherever. Somebody has a story, or some place, you know, and that just fascinates me. Um,
And sometimes they come up just out of the blue. Like
right,
we
right.
we've got a couple that we have game night with on Friday nights, and um, she's my best friend, and then her husband has become just a very best friend too, and he saw a doppelganger, and the guy he was with saw his doppelganger at the same time. So that was odd.
Yeah.
And I had never talked to anyone that had actually seen a doppelganger. But Russell said he saw that guy, but that guy saw Russell inside.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yes, at
It'd
the
be a
same
double back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Russell said the guy came around the corner and Russell goes, "Why'd you go back inside?" And he goes, "I was coming around to ask you the same thing." Russell said, "I've been out here." And he said, "I've been out here too."
Hmm.
And so they said they didn't stay very much longer after that. They were metal detecting and they threw their stuff in the truck and left. It's
Well,
like,
you know what? You know what? You mentioned about your Friday night's game night. We go to a thing called Music Bingo, and we went to one Friday night, and we're at the bingo, and I'm looking at a table, maybe 4 or 5 tables over. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's my uncle Jimmy. No, Jimmy. I mean, he passed away maybe 3 years ago, and I'm just blown away, right? I'm like, that's my uncle John. His everything about him was my uncle. And
wow.
then and I told my sister who was sitting across the table, says, "Turn around, and tell me who that was." "Oh, it's Uncle Jimmy." And then my cousin, who's on the other side of me, and she says, "That's your uncle Jimmy." I walked up to the dude, and here's the thing that's wild is Saturday night we were playing, and I haven't seen my aunt. Would be his wife, So, and I haven't seen her for years. And she lived nearby, and she came out to watch us. And I'm like, you're not gonna believe I seen your husband last night. And she was blown away. But I seen him, and then the very next night I see her.
What?
That I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
So I thought this is really weird. So it's really strange how things uh, turn out like that. You know.
Hmm.
And you're talking
Hmm.
about like doppelganger. That's probably the first one in my life I've seen. Now my brother's seen me,
Really?
As a double. He lives in Georgia, so he says I was at the Bob Evans, and I didn't say hello to him. And when he walked up to me, I had went to the bathroom or something. He was waiting for me. He didn't see me come back out. He was sure that was me because it talked like me, looked like me, characteristics of me, laughed like me, and he even took a picture of him and sent it to me. And I had to say it looked like me.
Oh
And I'm
my
like, well,
goodness.
I had to try to convince him I wasn't there, and if I were there, I wasn't going to ignore you. you know.
Right.
So, so he seen that was his first one. His first one was of me, you know,
Wow.
and then my first one was just this past Friday. Really so strange of my uncle.
Right.
It is something when you see somebody that's identical. And what did they say? There's like only three of you in the world. That's what I heard. I don't know.
I don't
Uh,
know.
that sound like you, talk like you, characteristics of you. I did look up once. I think it's three, something like three of yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, well, bless my other
If I
two's
find out,
heart.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless my other two's heart.
Right. I pity my other two. But yeah.
I don't know what I'd do if I ran into somebody that looked like me.
Oh, you'd be blessed. Yeah. I mean, you're talented, man. You edit the books, and yeah, I mean, when Mark Elliott Fultz was on my show, I mean, he had nothing but fantastic things to say about you, and
Oh,
uh, I mean, and he was a fairly fun guy to
he's
interview.
great.
He
He
was talking about his grandmother's cookbook, I think it was.
yeah.
I died laughing, and called her a mean old bitch or something. I can't remember, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's your grandmother, man.
She was though.
Yeah.
His family was mean, really
So is
mean.
that supposed to be your grandmother on the cover of that cookbook? You look like that's a nice version of her. So yeah.
He's so funny. He's going to be at Goblin Con, and his booth is going to be right next to mine.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, he's going to
I
be
really
doing
wish I could have made it
readings.
this year. 'Cause that
I
was so much fun.
know.
I think it grew because that's what he's sold out on the or for the vendors
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's right at 70 vendors.
Yeah, I think it was, I didn't look last count. I didn't see, but I knew he posted that it was they were sold out from the
Yeah.
table. So that's awesome.
Unbelievable. So I
Hmm.
mean, last year being the first year and having that good a turnout,
Right. For the first
just
year, and then have a sell out the second year. I
right.
think it'll be another great show. Uh, great guest. I mean, you're going to be there. So uh,
I'm so excited. I'm so
yeah,
excited. I'm going to be talking about these headless ghosts and stuff. I might have to throw in some signs though, because those are still coming through. I, can I tell you one?
oh sure.
So I lost my mom in May,
I'm sorry.
and it was, what was so bad is that she was independent at 87 and still driving and working at the Warriors exhibit, which is our military veterans.
Mm.
They've got pictures of
Oh,
everybody,
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
just really cool place. And she
Hmm.
was one of the workers that
Really.
worked 4 or 5 hours a day for 4 to 5 days in the
Up,
week.
to,
I think,
up until she about passed away.
well, until October of 2023. And because of uh, because she was over retirement age and all this kind of stuff, they can only work for 4 or 5 years at a time. So she worked five, and then she wasn't eligible again to
Mm.
work. But it was good for her to do that because she had started just staying at home and not doing anything. And after that, she would get out and, you know, talk to people, get to hear their stories, and
Hmm.
just had a great time. Well, she retired from that in October of 2023. 2 months later, on the 23rd of December, she fell, broke her hip.
Oh.
So the surgery was Christmas Eve. We missed Christmas that year.
Mm. Hmm.
So she had surgery on that hip. They pinned it, and then she fell again and had to have a partial hip replacement. It dislocated. She had a total hip. It dislocated. Revision dislocated. And what's called a girdle stone, which I'd never heard.
Yeah.
And they took everything out, and she had to be off of her leg for 6 months.
Wow.
And already she was weak. And those 5 surgeries were in 3 months' time.
How old
From the
was she?
24th, she would have been 89
Okay.
this past week. She
Uh-huh.
would have been 89. And so, it just did a number. Um,
Once you break your hip that age, it's really tough to.
if they had done a sturdier surgery, I think the first time, because she did great and was up walking, moving around, doing great after that. Um, I don't know, but the more surgery she had, the weaker she got, of course.
Mhm.
And then um, we had to, stay with her and do things. She had a little mini stroke, I believe, and that caused the onset of vascular dementia. So
Mhm.
it was a bad situation. And I guess my sister and I started grieving last October. And so when she finally passed on the 19th of May, it was a blessing. And
And people don't understand that. So my dad passed away last July, and
did he?
yeah, we took care of my sister and I were there for the last probably 2 or 3 years, off and on living with him. So that is a stressful situation for the
It
family,
is.
for the caregivers, and
And for
I
the,
understand. I understand exactly what you're going through and what you went through because he had Alzheimer's
mm,
and a memory care unit, and we had to put him in there. Finally, after my cardiologist told me, I went in for my checkup. It's like my heart rate's like 200 over, like it was up there, like I'm stroke level.
oh my
So he
goodness.
told me, you have to, I'm not letting you leave here. I stayed
Mhm.
there for like a good hour. Then I felt okay. I didn't feel like it was, you know,
You
here,
you were
here,
used to the stress.
right, right. And he says, he said, you have to do something or you're going to be dead before your dad.
Yeah.
So I told my sisters, we got to do something. I hated doing that, but I think it was for the best for him. I think some people think that you're letting your parent down, but I think it's you're like the blessing to have somebody look out after him to do things that we couldn't do.
Right.
And yeah, I
Right.
understand. And I mean, your mom, that's too bad. Uh, it's terrible, especially when you're close with them. Maybe she'll give you a sign like Wyatt did.
She already has.
I was going to ask you that.
She and it was quick. It was very quick. You know how Wyatt was almost immediate with his
Hmm.
mom,
Right.
and he still shows up. But she showed up the night before her funeral, and
What a
it
sign.
was, yeah. So she died on Tuesday, and then the funeral was Friday. And so Thursday night, my husband and I are over at her house. So we had started going through and trying to sort and do things. And I was doing paperwork. So I had a sort pile, I had a shred pile, a trash
Mhm.
pile, and a keep pile. And I had done 2 big piles, and had worked my way to her little 4 drawer filing cabinet. And now this woman, she had been such a good bookkeeper when she and dad had the auto parts store. But when she retired from that, it was just like, poof, you know, just
Yeah.
throw stuff in drawers and just, there's not a good filing system. So we were going through all that. And she had not gone through, wanted to get rid of my dad's stuff or her mother's stuff. So at this point right now, we're going through mom's, my grandmother's, my dad's, and since she didn't go through dad's, his mother and father. So it's just, we'll do a little bit and turn around and it looks like the piles are growing. But so
Yeah.
anyway, the night before the funeral, I'm sorting these papers, and she had this thing. She would, instead of using one of the little check registers to write down, what she wrote the checks for, she got one of those little 6x9 journals and would write down, oh, groceries, blah blah blah,
Hmm.
drugstore, blah blah. And she also used those to write down about the book she was reading, because she read a book a day at least. Sometimes she was bored and had three or four going at the same time. So she would write down every book she read and what she thought of it, and good or bad, what she thought of it. And so there were journals everywhere. I'm almost done with this top drawer. And my husband said, I'm about ready to leave. I said, let me get through this top drawer. And I am too. I'm done. So the funeral was the next day. We had met with the mortician and the director, who's one and the same. And he's a good friend of ours. His mother was my mom's best friend.
Well, okay.
Um, so it's been a family friend for years and years and years. And we had met with him that Wednesday and got music, and who was speaking, who she wanted to sing, and all that kind of stuff. Well, as far as the pallbearers, I was telling Brad, who that was the one in charge. I said, I know all the people that mom wants to be pallbearers can't really do that because they've either got bad backs, they've had strokes,
Yeah.
they can't do it. And
Hmm.
he said, we will do that. So don't worry about pallbearers. I've got that covered. You just show up. And so I got the pictures for him and music. What I said, Brad, I really don't know music. Just pick stuff. And so he was going to do that. All right. So I'm almost done with this drawer. I reach in and pull out a little journal, and I'm thinking, okay, is it the book journal? Is it the bank journal? Which one? And I open it up and it said, Dear Cindy.
Whoa.
And my heart stopped.
Hmm.
And she said, this was written in 2014. Um, and she said, you've been asking me to write down stories from my childhood and what I remember of the family growing up. And I bet you wish you hadn't asked now. Ha ha. That kind of thing. And so it was story after story after story of when she was a little girl
Yeah.
and growing up and when her and dad got together and just all of the things
Stories you
that
never heard before.
never heard
Wow.
before. Couple I had,
Hmm.
and she had written those down again for me. But there were some things I had never heard from people that I had not gotten
Hmm.
to meet. An aunt that had died before I was born, and a cousin, and just different things. And then I noticed that in the back there was a sheet of paper just kind of loose, and I turned it over and it was upside down. I flipped it over, and it was her funeral arrangements,
Whoa.
what she wanted done, the pallbearers, the music she
Hmm.
wanted. And she had named Amazing Grace and six other songs that she really wanted to hear.
Hmm.
She had said, I want Ross to sing, which I'd already talked to our buddy Ross. He's like my little brother.
Yeah.
And she kind of adopted him when he was in high school and junior high. And um, he was going to sing, and I had already talked to him and asked him to speak as well, and he was going to. So she had all of this information written down in 2014. And
Wow.
I said, Greg. And he came around the corner and I said, look at this. And I read what she had written. He said, how did you know to look there? And I said, I didn't. I did not. I didn't know she wrote it. I mean, I've been haggling her to do it, but I didn't know she actually sat down and wrote it. And I didn't know all about, I didn't know these songs that she liked. And
Right.
I
Yeah.
reached out. She actually
Well, it
had,
gave you a good starting point, to
oh,
where
yeah.
what you could
But it was
do
the night before
12
the
years later.
funeral. And so, yeah, right? And then I reached out to Brad because she had a message to Brad too. And she said, tell Brad. So, first off, I messaged Brad and I said, I just found information from mom about her funeral. She wants this and this and this song. He goes, I got you. I'll put that together during visitation. Don't worry. And I said, well, she's got a message to you, and I'm going to send it to you. And I messaged it to him, and he said, "Oh, he said I will cherish this. This is her." She said, "Tell Brad, I don't want people to say, 'Oh, doesn't she look natural?'
Yeah.
I want them to walk by and say, 'Well, isn't she pretty?'" And he said, "I can hear her say that." I said, "I can
Hmm.
too." And he said, "I will cherish this always." And do you know, it was the prettiest I've seen her in years.
Mm,
He did a great job.
that's
He did a great.
awesome.
But yeah, that was the night
Sorry about your mother,
before.
though. That's always tough.
Yeah, yeah, but she is in a much better place. And uh, she had told me, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, don't worry, I'm going to haunt you if I can, because I know you'll like that. I said, I will.
Yeah.
Please try.
See, that's my dad. I mean, he would be that type to play little pranksters on me. And
Yeah.
I know that we have something in this house that we call her Greta. Because that was the lady that lived here before we moved in, and that's only two people own this house, her and us. And I we don't smoke, my wife and I, and uh, we every now and then you'll get a puff of smoke that's just somebody like blowing it in your face. It's not like you can smell cigarette smoke. That don't bother me. It's when you blow it in your face. When somebody does that. That's what you don't see the
That's
smoke,
how
but
strong it is.
that's how strong it is. And I
Wow.
told my wife that a couple years ago, and she's listening. Like I think I told you that before. I'm doing too many podcasts, and I better lay off the paranormal stuff for a bit. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, man, I can smell it. You don't smell it? She said, I do not. You know, I thought, well, it might be just me again. I don't know. Picking on me. Uh, and here, like maybe a few months ago, she's sitting there, and I heard her say, "Greta, take it outside." So I thought, oh, okay, all right. So it's not just me. So
She
then
was
I'm sitting on the
smelling.
front porch. My neighbor's walking by, and I didn't know her, but he knew her, and he was come up on the front porch. We talked for a while. And he said, yes, she was a chain smoker, so maybe 3 to 4 packs a day.
Wow.
You would never see her without a cigarette. And he said, I know that they when they cleaned your house before you bought it, it was cleaned like 3 or 4 times by professional cleaners to get that cigarette smoke out. And I said, it's not that, man. I know what nicotine smells like, and cigarette style. I know that smell. It's not.
Mhm.
This is a heavy. And he says, yeah, he sees her doing that. She was like that. She's a prankster. I thought, oh, okay, it's like my dad. So he said before he passed, I am going to haunt you. It's like but some people I just like you say they leave a sign or that they contact you. I always wanted that for my mother, always did. And I just one time, she's been going like 12, what, 13, 14, 14 years now. And that was shortly after when I retired. And I was like, I know I don't get a contact. I asked to contact with her, leave me a sign or something, nothing. And it was one morning I was getting, before I retired, I was going to go to work, and I was running late, and uh, I'm laying in bed, and I heard her say, "You need to get up, or you're going to be late." That was my mother, you know,
Wow.
plain as day. And I looked at the clock, and I had, oh my god, I have to go. I'm going to be late, And I
Wow.
told my wife, maybe that was a start. Now that was just one and done. She hasn't, no, not since, but that was at one time.
That's
My
an
wife, maybe,
amazing
my
one.
wife said, maybe you were dreaming that. I don't know if I was dreaming it, if it's a subconscious. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm thinking about her or nothing. It just plain as day. Her voice, as I open my eyes, I can still hear her talking. It's like,
Wow.
and that was that's strange. But I stopped questioning things like a long time ago. Just accept it.
Mhm.
And same as going into like a haunted building where you come across spirits.
Mhm.
Some people have that gift. I like that better. I really do. I like that personal connection over the. Don't get me wrong. I do like the paranormal equipment. The EVPs and uh, whatever you're using,
Mhm.
infrared. Uh, I like that personal contact.
Yeah.
That you can send somebody. Went to a haunted house a couple of years ago. He wants me to come back. He's about 50 miles away from me, and his place is very, very, very active. And
Wow.
I couldn't stay in there. I couldn't stay in there. It was just too. It was too much.
Too much.
It was too much. There's been paranormal investigators going in there, psychic mediums. One's been thrown off the front porch. One's been thrown down the steps. Uh,
Wow.
it's very active, and his wife not very keen on the activity. I mean, but they don't want to get rid of it. Like he puts it, they were here a lot longer than we were. So I mean, he's trying to live with it. They're not
Mhm.
all bad. But I
Mhm.
think like in my house I grew up in, I think there was 7 spirits. I think, and one was evil. The other ones were not.
Mhm.
But when you don't want to, I don't deal with evil. or
No.
there's a big difference. Like we got talked before about a ornery spirit, angry spirit.
Mhm.
Uh, just but when you're, I remember a long time my preacher, our church told us. Well, I told him I was making a documentary. This is back in like in 1996, somewhere in there. I was making a documentary on ghost stories in our valley, called Ghosts in the Valley, hence my podcast. So I did a good documentary, and he was really into it. I mean, Catholic priest, he was really into what I was doing. But I remember him telling me, be very careful because there's a thin line between that ornery spirit or an evil spirit. Once you cross that line, it's very hard to come back on this side. It's a lot of work to get you back, and I still remember that. That there are a few people like I actually talked to that didn't think you're okay. What's this? What are you making up now? Even in my book, I don't mind. I mean, people will say, how much fiction is that? How much truth? That doesn't all really happen to you, really. I mean, I get tired of answering those questions, and
Mhm.
because you know yourself when you go talk at events and people that come up to you and have to share their stories with you.
Yes.
That's what happened to me with a seminar I went to with it was a retirement home with a bunch of nuns, and I'm like, I don't, man, this don't this ain't sitting well with me. It's like I don't think I belong here. One of those things. And here they were like, give me that evil eye, like you're going to kick my butt or something. I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. And it wasn't until I was done and they came up to me and boy, their stories, you know, and they were so interested in my story, but they shared me their story.
Wow.
They had asked me one question that I didn't know how to answer. And it was, what do you think the most haunted place in the world is?
It's
You know,
probably the Vatican.
exactly. And that's what she said. I didn't, I thought I just off my top of my head. I've been to so many places,
Mhm.
church, especially a lot of churches are, a lot of
Yes.
churches are, very few are not haunted. I mean, they're all haunted. And
Right.
especially if you got a graveyard off that church where they're burying people on top of people. Uh,
Mhm.
but she says, "Oh no, the Vatican," because her brother was a priest who actually got to go to the Vatican and go to the basement under, it's like
Oh,
a little city under the Vatican.
he got to go in
He
the
got to go,
basement.
yeah, he got to go in there, and she said,
Holy mo
and he never wants to go back.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said that was so. You got keep in mind these popes are buried there too. They're in every pope is down there,
Mhm.
so you can imagine the stories they had, or and she's. It was so that was of all those speaking places. I thought that might have been my favorite because
Yeah.
they had, and I'm like just sitting there. like a kid in a candy store, just
Right.
eating this stuff up, and they're all just old retired ladies that had something to say, and every single one had a story, every single one, and
Wow.
and she said, and it's happening to this day. It even happens today. They still have they call it like a residual haunting. So the same people keep coming back,
Hmm.
even where they're at. So,
Plus, they've got in that basement, from what I understand, a lot of artifacts that are haunted,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and uh, uh, probably some things that you wouldn't want to be around. You know,
Right, 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 right. Mm-hmm,
so and some of the evil stuff,
mm-hmm.
is encased there, from what I understand. Um, when you said he went to the basement, I've heard people say, if you go in the basement at the Vatican, you never come out. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, he got out.
yeah. He got out. Yeah, yeah. Not like at first, I was like, it took me by surprise for the Vatican. As soon as I got home, I started looking up the Vatican stories from
Mhm.
being haunted, and like its own little city underneath the Vatican.
Yes.
I didn't know that, big underground.
Hmm. Hmm. Even bigger than what is above ground.
Right, right, right. It's like they call it their own little city,
Yes.
and it's fascinating, really.
Wow. I
But,
can't even imagine
right. Well,
going.
I want to get to your books. All right. The
I
we
was
here
enjoying this though.
yeah we had so many. You have so many books, and I told my wife the other day. I said, it took me 50 years to write my first book.
You're
I,
supposed to be writing your second
I
one.
am. I'm halfway through it, and
Yay!
I'm like, I was going to go three, and I'm just going to go two. The reason is I want to keep it true to what I know. What was told to me from the people that went into the house after I moved out. So I'm going to keep it to two. Uh, I don't want to make up things for the third book. You know what I'm saying? So everything would probably be made up. So I start out where the last one left off. I was like, what, 12, 14 years old. Well, this is picking up there, right? And then it'll go until 2027.
Awesome.
That's my plan on being done with it, hopefully.
Awesome.
This band, man, the thing's taking all my time. And then I even took some time off of podcasting because I just running out of, and then we had to put a new roof on the house and floor throughout the whole house and uh, vinyl plank the whole house. So it's like a lot of work the last couple of months. I was like, oh, I need some time off, And,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I want to get to your books. It was, and I might have missed one somewhere, but I want to start with, let's see, it was not that one. It
Who's first? The first one.
was that it? The first one?
That was the very first one.
The very first
Um,
one.
hmm.
Whispers in the Dark.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
want me to tell you a little bit about them as we're going?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, um, I Mark talked me into writing because I was editing for him. He said, "When are you going to write your book?" And I hadn't even told him, but he's a psychic. Of course, he knew. So, um, this is 23 short stories, mostly in my county, that have happened to me, my team members, my friends. And then there's two stories from Lynchburg where Jack Daniels is made. The Lynchburg Haunted Home there. It used to be a funeral home. So there's two stories from there. There's one story from a vacation my husband and I went on, which, you don't expect to have anything weird and bad happen to you on a vacation unless you're going to a haunted location. But
Right.
I was looking for sage and got him to smudge the cabin with me. So it was that bad. And there's another story from when I lived in Arizona, and then two stories from my friend that lived in Georgia before she moved here. So um, it's mostly me and
Yeah.
my buddies.
I don't have that one yet.
You don't. That's the
No.
that's the very first one.
Yeah, yeah. And I had it on my list a while back, and I don't know what happened to it. But
My
yeah,
the
that's a
first story
first
in it
one.
is my bedtime story.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I made my grandmother tell it to me every night. And she said she would always say, "I told it to you. I know, but it's my favorite. You got to tell it to me again." "I'm not telling it to you again. Go to sleep." "I can't go to sleep yet. You hadn't told me my story." And she would tell it to me, and it ended with, "Boo! Now go to sleep."
Well,
I loved it.
yeah.
Loved it.
Your next one up was Webotero.
Web of Terror, and that one, Mark and I just he wrote four fiction stories, and this is the only book of fiction we have. And so I wrote eight stories. He wrote four.
Is that a new
Um,
cover? Is that a new cover? Or is that the original cover?
that's the original.
Okay.
It sure
I don't.
is.
I was thinking of something else.
Mm-mm, it's
Okay.
that one. And it probably looks different on the digital copies because
Oh,
sometimes you
okay.
can't get
Yeah.
that cover the same as on Kindle.
I'm impressed. All your books have an audio to it.
I
Audiobooks.
I
That's
love
awesome.
it. I love it.
Yes.
So that was I was glad they offered it.
Who offered it? The
The KDP, the
KDP. Okay.
Amazon,
Yeah.
the
That's
Amazon.
that's really cool. Yeah.
I thought so too.
Then you had they're
Now,
speaking. Are you listening? I
now
have that one. That's sweet.
that one was supposed to be my very first book, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
I like the book cover too. That's pretty.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love skeletons and skulls anyway, and Mark does a fantastic job with those. Fantastic.
The
But
EVPs are so cool when you can get some really good uh, responses. You know.
yeah, yeah, and that's the one that you can go to the website, elkvalleyparanormal.com, and listen to all of them that's in there. So
It's elkvalley.com has all your books there.
elkvalleyparanormal.com
Oh, elkvalleyparanormal.com. Yes.
has
Yeah.
the all of the EVPs in this book. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can go to
You
the
can and
menu
listen to them.
and listen to every one
Oh,
of them.
okay.
Mhm.
I know what I'll
So
be doing tonight.
that's what I couldn't figure out how to get it across until I put them all on the website. And I was like, okay, now I can put this book out.
Yeah, that was not goodbye. Signs from beyond. That was your
Yeah,
fourth one.
fourth one, and that was the one that
I have
God.
that one. That one you autographed for me last year. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, and well, I brought mine because you said you were going to
Yes, you
be
did.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, I brought
Yeah.
yours to be autographed. I was excited that you were there. But
That's really
now
cool. That's a really good book. A lot of nice stories in there. The people saying,
that, yeah, yeah, and when God put that in my lap to write that, I didn't have a lot of stories, so I put a feeler out on Facebook for signs, and people started writing in, and the book just kind of wrote itself. So that's the one that I was working on when we lost Wyatt.
yes,
And, I couldn't figure out why God put that in my lap to write that. And then after his funeral, it hit me about 2 or 3 weeks later. Oh, that book is my therapy. That's how I get through Wyatt's death. And that's what happened. That's what I used to get through. We're never over losing him, but if I hadn't had that book writing on it and working on it, I don't know what I would have done.
yeah, that's a really good one. I'm glad I picked that one up. Uh, Realms of Shadows, true ghost stories and eerie tales.
Yes. Now this one, so Whispers in the Dark, also true ghost stories and eerie tales. And I'm
You were
working.
you were, you were like on a little writing binge there for a while. Like wow, 25, 20, 20, 25, 20, 20, 25, 20, 20, 25. I'm like, dang, girl. I mean,
And
you're making me look bad.
no, 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 not
Yeah.
at all. Not at all. I get something in my head and I just got to do it.
You
So,
ever get the writer's block?
oh yeah,
You just
yeah. I got it. I got it while I was writing that science book,
Oh yeah.
and it hit me just a little short while after I started writing and started getting everybody's stories in there. And 2020 hit, and I just kind of lost my motivation and didn't work on that the rest of the 2020, didn't work on it at all 2021, and then started back up
And that
2022
was a
right
bad time.
before.
What was that? That's terrible. I mean, I don't think this country has ever really
Mm-mm.
fully recovered from that. I
No,
mean,
I don't think so
I'm looking at
either.
all these places even now. I mean, like some of the wineries where I'm at, they were open 7 days a week, and now the one so she's closed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Wow.
and I mean that's kind of quite common.
Hmm.
And still, stores in our town are closed 3 to 4 days out of the week. It's hard to get the employees
Hmm.
that want to work
Yeah.
uh, to work. you,
Right.
you know, uh, yeah. I really hope that we do recover here pretty soon because it's yeah. I just was wondering if you get that that was a bad time 2020
It
and
was.
yeah.
It was. And I tell you, um, this one is the creepier stories, creepier things that have happened, and seances gone
Mm.
wrong, and just
That's where
weird.
eerie tales come into play, huh?
Hmm. Hmm. And I'm working on the next one in that series. I'm coming up those true ghost stories and eerie tales, and it's called Chill to the Bone. So that's the one that's coming out next. So someone asked me
Also,
about,
it's going to be follow up of this one. The
yeah,
next.
because
Oh, okay.
the very first one,
Yeah.
Whispers in the Dark, you can hear those. Realm of Shadows, you see those. Chill to the Bone, you feel that. So I was going with senses
Okay.
on. So this is a series as well.
Then you
So
had
here we go.
Death's Doorstep. I can get the whole thing in there, but yeah.
Now that one was supposed to be part of the science book, but I was getting so many near death experiences. I thought that needed its own book. So I pulled out those and the angel rescues and spirit warnings and put those together as its own book. And that is my favorite cover Mark has done.
Oh yeah. He
I
does all.
love that.
Has he done all your covers or?
Every one of them.
Okay, I was going to ask you because I know he did like three or four that I knew of.
Everyone. And he always does three illustrations as well. And I just pick out the stories that I think illustrations will go best with. And I'll tell him what I want, and he'll kind of let it roll around up here. And then they come out and they're amazing.
Sweet.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then you had It's Not Goodbye. Oh, and I want to thank you for letting me write the
Yes, I was
forward
honored
to that.
that you did it.
I was thrilled. I had picked this one. I had you sign this one too, and
Hmm.
I get the other ones out of my collection. I like to get the authors out on my show their books, and
Hmm.
support. As I know it's what it takes. Just me being a newbie author, but an oldie author.
Right?
But the I know the work that goes into it, uh, and you have to watch today with the AI.
Mhm.
Uh, People have not write their book for them. Uh, I like the I like the way these are put out. 'Cause a lot of these are with stories that are uh, presented to you from other people, and very touching and moving.
Mhm. I think
Uh,
so too.
hmm
And they get to memorialize their family members and
Right.
friends.
I think that's the way they can do that through this, maybe through your book,
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
let that feeling out. You can feel it in some of these stories, the
Mhm.
pain.
And some people, like you say, want to be anonymous, and
Hmm
there's not a problem at all. I just
That
I
was a
think
really good book. I enjoyed that one too.
thank you, thank you.
Hmm
There's going to be a third one. I'm already collecting signs for a
Okay.
third one.
I know you got a lot of signs that people
Mhm.
giving you,
Yeah, oh, they'll
leaving
come.
them on your doorstep.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they'll come up to me at conferences like GoblinCon. I had several people come up
Mhm.
to me and say, "I've got a sign for you. Can I tell you?" And sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'd love to hear it. And
And
they're they're all very different, but they give that person pretty much the same feeling, just wow, and just unconditional love coming through.
right. Well, you can feel it
Hmm.
the way you presented that. Then you have the Unquiet. I love that title, man. The Unquiet Dead. Headless Ghost and Colorful Spirits Part 1. You did Part 1 and Part 2, only what, a few days apart.
Yeah,
Uh,
a week apart.
really a week apart now, and they're nice book, nice sized books. I'm like, wow, you've been busy on that. You know,
I was. This is the one that went from 6 stories. I mean, 60 newspaper article stories from Mark,
now that I know that, that's
and just
sweet.
blew up.
And I love that cover too of the Headless Ghost.
I
Uh,
love her. I
he did a
absolutely.
great job on that.
Oh yeah.
With the railroad track, that's the one of the railroad track ghost stories.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
with the lantern. Yeah,
I love her. I just love all of his stuff.
that
And of
one's
course,
gonna in my bucket list, or in my my bucket list, my Amazon list, and my that was the other cover for the part two.
now that she is representing Black
Sh-
Bonnet,
She almost looks like Elliot's grandmother.
right? She kind of does.
Yeah.
Well, she's representing the story Black Bonnet, this one of the colorful spirits that was coming through and terrorizing a family. So I put her also in um, behind that story that
Oh,
she's
okay.
representing too. So she's in the book again.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, all them stories, that the archives, you probably like, going crazy. Like I said, which one to use and which one you to leave out.
Yeah,
Which I know there got to be another book on that one. Uh,
I'm
and
yeah. They're I
the
found
Unquiet Dead.
I'm well, the ones I'm working on, like I said, there's going to be Monsters and Mayhem. That's vampires, banshees, witches, werewolves. There's Christmas spirits for Victorian ghost stories that were told around the fire. Um, there's animal ghosts. There's one on haunted objects. There's
Hmm.
another on poltergeist and other strange hauntings like that. Extraterrestrials. I'm actually going to hit that, and cryptids.
Mm.
And then there's going to be one spiritualism and mediumship.
You almost have it all covered.
That, and then
Yeah.
there's going to be the catch all ghost book that if they didn't fit into anything else, there's a ghost book.
Now there
So
was nine books. Now what book am I missing?
yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
that was it. I think it
He
was one. I think Mark wrote one. I think your name popped up somewhere. I was looking on Amazon. It's a Mark
well,
Elliott Schrader Bull.
oh, did it?
Yeah,
Did it? Well, it's because I
might have been a glitch or something. I don't know.
probably because well, when you pull my name up, you'll pull all of his books up,
Hmm.
and you'll pull Eric's books up. So anybody that I edit, you'll pull their books up too.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that's
that's why.
yeah.
Hmm.
I got the cookbook. I got again uh, uh, Eric Freeman's first book.
Right.
I haven't got the new one yet.
His
So
new one is very good.
I didn't
It's
know how to know it. I was coming across. I think it was your books, and his thing popped up like, oh, we got another book out. Okay, I didn't know that.
you would enjoy you because he is telling about himself growing up and things that have happened and bringing in paranormal stuff on top of it and the night house. There's a chapter, and
Hmm.
so it's ongoing. But it's that I enjoyed his Tennessee Haunts and Legend, the small town haunts and legend. I enjoyed that one a lot, and he's working on a Kentucky one now.
Oh,
But
okay.
but this strange chapters, I really enjoyed
Yeah,
reading
that's a good title too.
them. Hmm.
Well, Sam, it's been great having you on, and I can't believe an hour passed so
Oh
quickly.
no,
And I wish you the best of luck at the Paracon.
thank
And
you.
yeah, if there's any way I can make a squeeze on down there, but I don't know.
I wish
Uh,
you could.
yeah.
I so wish you could. You know you've met Shaw Woot or you've seen Shaw Wooten on air. I think probably she's with Amok Paranormal
I
and
think I have. Yeah.
Exploring the Paranormal
Yeah.
Perspective. And Mark and I do a true crime show every second Sunday with her
Okay.
on
And
ET.
it's on the evening. You have to maybe send me a link to that or something.
Yeah,
I'll put it in my show notes.
it's the
Uh,
second Sunday of every month on Exploring the Paranormal Perspective with Shaw Wooten. Shaw's going to be at Goblin Con,
oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
it's going to be great
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Sam, it's been great, and we're going to talk again.
Let's do.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If I lose you, then I'm sorry.
Okay.